Hey, me and Matt here, and this is Killer Kyle. Hey, me and Matt here. This is Killer Kyle, and welcome to WHEELZ Fury. And today is another episode installment of Look Back at Royal Rumble 2014. It's Royal Rumble season, so I figured Royal Rumble's gonna be in Phoenix, Arizona. Royal Rumble 2014 was in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's kind of fitting. Last year we talked at WrestleMania 30 was 2014, so it's kind of interesting how we're going to talk about how this all came about, I guess.
Right.
So,
Yeah, this Royal Rumble was certainly an interesting one. I mean, the matches were really good. It'd be interesting to kind of reflect back on the matches and go over what happened and who won and all that other stuff, just to kind of jog the memory, so to speak.
yeah, I mean, this was by no means good because of a lot of things that fans wanted that the WWE decided not to give them, obviously. They waited until WrestleMania 30 to do what they were gonna do, that the fan, like, Daniel Bryan going on top in the main event. I mean, that's kind of what the fans wanted. They never got it until WrestleMania, so I don't know who to blame, because WWE knows better and they should have listened, but at the same time, they probably wanted to wait until it was the perfect time for Daniel Bryan to get into the main event.
I guess.
And it's also kind of when you had both titles, the WWE title and the world title. Yeah, that's the last time you saw the world title. And it merged to become the WWE World Heavyweight title. What a load of shit. The World Wrestling Entertainment World Champion. That's... Anyways, yeah. Randy Orton as the champion. Now he comes out, he carries both belts. Of course, this was all due to him and John Cena's feud. John Cena was the WWE champion. Randy Orton was the world champion, so... Yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they decided to merge both titles. At first it seemed like they were just gonna have one champion, one championship, and bounced back, kind of back and forth between Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then it was like, you know what? Why don't we have each brand have its own championship? So they put the WWE Championship on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then they came up with their Universal Championship. Which,
Now, at least when Chris Jericho won both titles, it was the Undisputed Championship.
right.
So I'm not quite sure what fucking happened with. Okay, well now we can. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Or heard. And it's almost as worse as Jeff Hardy with the TNA Championship and his own version of the TNA Championship. It's like you couldn't just have one, you had to have both.
It was almost as if WWE was trying to see if they can catch lightning in a bottle twice.
Yeah.
I mean, when Jericho did it and they ran with that, it worked out fairly well. When they did it the second go around with the match with John Cena and Randy Orton, it kind of worked, but then it was just like, you know what, this is pointless, why don't we just have two championships again?
Yeah.
And then they created the Universal Championship.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully I don't merge that. I know.
Well, at least Cleo agrees.
So we head on to... Yeah, it's the pre-show. You got the New Age Outlaws versus the Dust Brothers.
Cody and Goldust.
You know, and it's funny too, because you got the New Age Outlaws who came back
Mm-hmm.
and they won the WWE Tag Team Championship again.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And I said this before, the Dudley Boys came in the year after. Not one fucking championship.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that was all about.
Were they just basically there to try and put over the New Day and other young talent?
Mm.
And, you know, go for one last run and that was it? Because, I mean, their run before they rode off into the sunset, so to speak, was not good.
Nah, not at all. But you have New Age Outlaws go over in this match. So there it is there. I mean, it's not a terrible thing that they were tag team champions again.
Right.
It's just kind of shitty because other legends that came back, like the Headbangers, lasted all a few weeks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's too bad, but that's just the way it is.
Yep.
So then we head on to the main show. We've got Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan.
This was a very interesting rivalry between Bray and Daniel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... Well, and it kind of started with Daniel Bryan going undercover as a Wyatt, which was kind of stupid. In my opinion, I thought it was stupid because I knew it wasn't going to last. And I don't know, just it kind of... Okay, 2013 ended. Well, now Brian's going on to the dark side. And it lasted for a few weeks.
Mm.
It ended in a steel cage.
Mm-hmm.
It was really dumb. Now, you look at Brian now as the new Daniel Bryan. Sounds like new Coke. But it's like, it's kind of a similar situation. It's the similar character, maybe.
it's a similar character, just more negative on the fans and going on about, oh, you're destroying the ozone layer. You guys are causing all these glaciers to melt. And you guys are eating hot dogs and drinking soda and getting fat and then are unhealthy and all this other stuff. I mean, the version that they had Daniel Bryan with the Wyatts worked. He just didn't really say a whole lot. They just basically had him in matches, and then if they lost, essentially Daniel had to sacrifice himself to Bray Wyatt. At least now, it's more of like a full-on heel character, if you will, talking bad about the fans and you're doing this, you're doing that,
Yeah.
being all environmentally friendly and shit like that. And I mean, I get it. It's just
It's not as good as it was when he was with AJ Lee.
true.
Because it's different though, because now he's a heel. Like, he's.
Mm,
Whereas back then, he was just an asshole.
right, yeah.
So. It's interesting, but.
Talking about being like the world's healthiest vegan and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Now, Daniel may have changed his habits. He may still be vegan, but he may not be as hardcore about it, if you will, as he was back then. Because there was that one table for three with Daniel and Ryback and Kofi, I think it was. And Daniel was like, I was strictly vegan. I was set in my ways, and I didn't care about anything else. And I had my strict diet, and I ate only what I felt was the right thing to eat and whatever. So now it's more of like, okay, you're trying to get everybody to see the error in their ways and, stop polluting and be healthy and try and make the earth a better place and, last for years and years to come. It seems to be working right now as far as like a heel tactic.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes. I mean, people seem to not like him, which is essentially what he's going
Oh,
for.
yeah, for sure.
And of course, the whole Feckle thing.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, I gotta have something silly thrown in there, but.
Instead of yes, 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 it's fickle, fickle, fickle.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt did have some good matches against each other.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think that. Because I remember when Bray came out, I was a huge fan.
Hmm.
Even when he came to the main roster. So, I mean, it's kind of like. Brian I also really enjoyed, not as much. But it was really cool to see them wrestle. And, I mean, they probably wrestled in NXT when he was Husky Harris. So, I mean.
Possibly, yeah.
But I don't know. Anyways, Bray Wyatt won the match.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Abigail, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we gotta do highlights of this shit. But, whenever I could find one.
Yeah.
So anyways, so we go on to Brock Lesnar versus The Big Show, which is kind of like a rematch from Survivor Series 2002,
Right.
when Big Show won the WWE title. there was rumors that Paul Heyman was going to turn on Lesnar again,
Yeah.
but that didn't happen, and
No.
Lesnar ended up going over.
Right.
Which kind of, is the way. You have one person win the match, and then you have the other guy who was beat eventually beat the other guy. That's how, yeah.
Yeah. You have
I'm sticking to that.
one like Brock Lesnar would go over on Big Show, and then maybe a couple weeks later, Big Show would get one over on Lesnar, and trade wins back and forth with each other until you got to a fairly big match with some sort of stipulation, and then that was the end of your rivalry.
Yeah. But, yeah, so Brock won this one there.
Yeah.
And, yeah, nothing really special. But at least there's Pyro. So we're going, so yeah, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. We have Randy Orton versus John Cena again. It's probably like the 15,000th time they faced each other. Fuck. And that's the thing too, and that's unfortunate because you have so much talent and you have the same wrestlers face each other. At least with Brock Lesnar and Big Show, it was kind of like a span, like a few years. So, like Randy Orton and John Cena, I was like, okay, so how many more matches can I do?
Yeah.
So, this was kind of interesting. Randy Orton won, which obviously going on to WrestleMania. And so there it is.
And the thing about it too is like, anytime Randy Orton and John Cena were in the ring together, whether it be singles, tag, mixed tag, well, maybe not mixed tag, 6-man tag, etc., they always had phenomenal matches.
Yes.
It's just kind of one of those things where, how long can you have two guys go on in a rivalry before you go, okay, let's put this thing to bed finally?
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't wait. I looked forward to it when it started because they were fresh.
Oh yeah.
In a way, so it was like, okay, this is cool. But then they beat it to death.
Basically, their rivalry started in OVW.
Yeah.
And went all the way till 2016, maybe? Somewhere in there.
2016, because that's kind of true, and I made that rant about WrestleMania 33 should have been John Cena and Randy Orton, but of course, we had to go the other way. No, we couldn't have Randy Orton and John Cena, because we had to have Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, because Randy Orton is going to go, and he's going to be the guy to join the Wyatts and sabotage or something. But no, we gotta fucking have Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. So here's what happened. We have sabotage, and then we had the match when WrestleMania. It was actually not too bad. And then we go on to Backlash. We have the House of Horrors. I almost botched that. The House of Horrors, which was, it was okay. But so, what was the point? So, we could have had John Cena and Randy Orton, but nope. We have to have Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton because, insert fucking reason here. Randy Orton and John Cena have had many battles. They fought and they wrestled everywhere in SummerSlam and all that shit. You could have had WrestleMania. So, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's irritating. So then we go on to the Royal Rumble.
Da-da-da-da. Yeah.
And I think it was this one where No, actually, it wasn't. No. I'll talk about that another time. No, it was just because Brian had long hair at that time.
Yes.
So, yeah, this was a fairly good Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, once again, you have. So, this is the thing, and this is what WWE does. You know, fans go, hey, we like this guy, we like this guy. And nope, we can't do that because we have to bring Batista back. And, you know, the guy who's been away for 4 years, he just left. He was in a wheelchair and he's like, I quit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if there was backstage politics or this was just kayfabe. I don't fucking know. And then he leaves. So he comes back and people are red hot about Roman Reigns. This was the time when Roman Reigns was actually cheered.
Yes.
So, I mean, okay, that's great. You got a 44-year-old Batista come back, and he's like, whatever. I mean, so this was a slap in the face. Because you got Batista throwing out Roman Reigns, the last man. So your fucking winner of the Royal Rumble is fucking Dave Batista. And now, he's going to WrestleMania to face Randy Orton. Of course, people bitched about that, but hey, you know what? Whatever. I didn't want to see it, but there it is. It didn't flow very well. There's two guys that didn't match, and yes, they were in Evolution, but they did not match. It was basically shoved down our throats. But hey, there you go. So, WrestleMania comes by, and you have Triple H versus Bryan, and of course, Bryan wins, goes on to the main event to win the title. And then, the next year, we have Roman win the Royal Rumble, and half the people hate his guts. So, and that's what the WWE has done over the fucking years. It sucks. Not that I have nothing against Batista. Wrong timing.
Yeah. Basically.
So.
But I mean, you look at the guys that were in the match in 2014. You got CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Damien Sandow, Cody Rhodes, Kane, Alexander Rusev, Jack Swagger, Kofi Kingston, Jimmy Uso, Goldust, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, R-Truth, Kevin Nash, Great Khali, Sheamus, Miz, Fandango, El Torito, I don't know why they threw him in there, Cesaro, Luke Harper, Jey Uso, JBL, Eric Rowan, Ryback, Alberto Del Rio, Batista, who ended up winning, Big E, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that too? Is that Rey Mysterio came out last, and people booed the shit out of him. Why? Because they were pissed off about Dave Batista. Now, I could say all I want about Batista winning the Rumble, but look at the fans. The fans don't know shit. They could have waited for WrestleMania to see what happens. But what did they do? They boo the most beloved wrestler there is, Rey Mysterio.
I mean, it seemed to be that after Bryan got eliminated, fans couldn't give two shits.
Unfortunately. And I feel bad for fucking Rey Mysterio. I just...
Yeah, we'll see what happens this go around, but I mean, you know, things happen and timing goes all wrong, and yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so...
The basic goal is to show you fans can turn on you at the drop of a hat, although it's not really Ray's fault. It's just the way it went.
Okay. So, I was talking with Kyle, and we were gonna do next week the best and worst Royal Rumble. I hope this works out better than the Survivor Series one, because we didn't really have best.
Best and worst. We just talked about Survivor Series
So-
matches.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be okay. There's a lot of good wrestling Royal Rumble shows, so we'll talk about that next week. And then, of course, Royal Rumble 2018. In 2 weeks.
Yep.
So that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow,
One thing I will mention quickly while
Yeah.
we're recovering from that. Tomorrow, on the WWE Network, 2 p.m. Eastern, WWE Network, NXT UK Takeover Blackpool.
oh god, yeah. No, I can't wait for that either. Like, that's... And obviously, William Regal's gonna be there.
Oh, I'm sure he will
So-
be in some capacity.
That's the thing that we probably mentioned. You have a lot of great wrestlers in Europe, especially the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a few episodes. We had Noam Dar being thrown on the ground on the outside. We just saw Dave Mastiff,
Yes.
actually, so... Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Oh, you look at all of the competitors they have on the UK brand. You've got Bomber, Dave Mastiff. You've got Flash Morgan Webster. You've got Mustache Mountain. You've got Tony Storm. Isla Dawn. Jenny. Zach Gibson. Pete Dunne.
Yes.
Several others.
Oh yeah, like I gotta start watching. I have a lot taped on my PVR, so I can't wait. I mean, and that's the thing too, is that you go elsewhere out of North America, and it's a lot better than it is. So you never know. Anyways,
He's Mean Matt. I'm Killer Kyle. We'll see you next week.
hell yeah.